Hey guys, welcome back. I have another nail polish review for you guys today. Today I'm going to be sharing the Olive and June fall collection. I have been loving Olive and June. Their polishes are just so fun. It's fun to follow their line as they come out with new colors, and they're long lasting. I love their brush so much. It's probably one of my favorite brushes. It's just so easy to use. I have to do hardly any cleanup with my manis, and it's just really good. So if you haven't tried Olive and June, I would go ahead and try them. I will put a link down to their website down below so you guys can purchase any polishes that you want. They have had polishes sell out quickly, so if you want any of these, I would go ahead and grab them. Okay, so let's talk about the collection. It's an interesting fall collection, and I like that it's a little bit different, but still goes along with fall, at least in my opinion. So all these polishes are named after Olive and June besties, so their names are initials. They're back to initials. The initial names aren't my favorite, but I do love the idea behind it because it's named after strong women. Okay, let's talk about the polishes. First up, we have HGC, and it's this beautiful sheer pink. Now, it is, I would actually call it semi-sheer. It's not as sheer as other sheers like they have, like BEB and CCT. This one's a little bit more opaque, but not quite opaque. You're still going to need like 3 coats to get this fully opaque. You might be able to get away with 2, but I found if you did the coats a little bit thicker, they do get a little bubbly. And so you have to be careful with that. Anytime you have bubbles, you want to just try to apply the polish a little bit thinner and not go on with a thick, heavy coat. So with any shears, I would suggest doing thinner and more coats. And 3 coats don't bother me. If that bothers you, this polish might not be for you. Okay, so like I said, it does show up a little bit whiter than it is in the bottle, so it's more of a whiter pink. I compared it to like Free to Roam and Ballet Slippers. Ballet Slippers is very sheer. I never really loved Ballet Slippers. It's not one of my favorite polishes, but I know it's like a cult favorite from Essie. It has kind of the same color tone as Free to Roam. Free to Roam has a little bit more opaque formula, and this one shows up a little whiter. And then I compared it to Let's Be Friends from the 2016 collection, and that one is quite a bit more opaque. That one's opaque in 2 coats, and it has a little bit more white pink undertone. I don't know. Anyway, it wasn't exactly the same as any of those, but in the bottle it looked really similar. So the formulas are just quite different. So I really like this one. It's so fresh and so clean, and it's just a good polish for fall. I love any kind of neutrals for fall. I think if you're wearing like something green or burgundy or brown, this is really gonna pop against it. And so this is one of my favorite colors to wear, is like a neutral soft pink. I like light pink. It's one of my favorite polish colors. So I really liked this one. And let's get into the comparisons for this one. This next one is Jojo, and it's a really interesting color. I will do a bottle shot of these because I know my light's a little bit bright today, so you guys can see like the true bottle color. It's an interesting shade, and I have to say I liked it more as I build it up to 3 coats. It's a little bit sheer. You're gonna probably have to build this up, I would say 2 to 3 coats depending on your preference and how you apply it. And I know it's different if you have short nails and long nails, so this is just coming from someone who has shorter nails, so just keep that in mind as well. Okay, and so it's like a peachy brown. It looks pretty close. It looks like a touch more brown than BI. That one is brighter and more peachy and more like summery, and this one is definitely more muted and more brown and more appropriate, I think, for fall. So it's okay. I didn't love it against my skin tone, but as it built up, I did like it a little bit more, and I think it's one that can maybe grow on me a little bit. It's very interesting. I really couldn't find anything exactly like it. Well, it's kind of close to Back in the Limo, but that one's more peachy, and the formula is probably a little bit more sheer than this one, but they are kind of close. So quite original, kind of interesting. I don't know, it's just an interesting shade. I think you guys might find it kind of fun for fall. And let's get into the comparisons for this one. This next one is MG, and it's a really interesting brown color. It's like a mauve brown, and it's a touch darker than some of the other kind of mauve browns I have. Let me compare it. Oh, it's so bright. To this one. This one's quite a bit darker, as you can see, than this. This is the other one in the collection that I just talked about. It's really interesting. I liked it. I think it's really good for fall. It's almost like a soft pumpkin spice, so it's a little more muted and subdued pumpkin color. It's really cool. This is interesting, quite unique. I couldn't find Barking Up the Wrong Sequoia from OPI. I don't know where that polish went, but I would think it'd be kind of close to that one, but probably not exactly the same. I think this is going to be a little bit more mauve. I did compare it to a few others that were kind of close, but didn't really exactly catch this color tone. I like it. It's going to be opaque in 2 to 3 coats depending on your application. I would say you probably could get 2 out of it. It's pretty good. So I feel like some of these polishes were a little bit more opaque than their summer polishes were. I feel like their summer collection had to do 3 coat on almost all of them, and there's a few of these that were really good in 2 coats, so that's really nice. And let's get into the comparisons for this one. This next one is WKF, and you guys know how much I love greens. This is a nice olive green. I'd like to say it's an olive green with a hint of mint, and I'm going to show you here in a minute what I mean by that. I really kind of wanted to compare it to this minty Essie color. This is an Essie Expressy shade, and then as you can see, it is definitely more olive than that. But then when you hold it up to like an olive polish, it's definitely a little more minty. So it's kind of in between there, which is really interesting. So I really couldn't find it to be exact to anything that I have in my collection. I think this one is maybe a little bit more wearable than maybe Heart of the Jungle. Heart of the Jungle, okay, it's all personal preference. If you don't like kind of those interesting olive greens, this one has maybe a touch more blue in it. And so it's maybe a little bit more wearable for a lot of different people who don't like greens. So Heart of the Jungle is going to be a little bit richer, and this one's a little softer. I really like it. I'm trying to decide which green I like better, and I might be leaning towards this one. So it'll be interesting to see what I put in my fall favorites. And just so you guys know, every season I pick 5 favorites and I do nail art designs. I don't know how many designs I'm going to be able to get away with this year. I might just do like 2 or 3 out of my top 5 picks. We'll have to see how much time I have, but I love this and might end up in there. So I think it's a really good green, and let's get into those comparisons. This next one is LD, and it's this beautiful mauve with a touch of red. So it's a little bit berry shade, but it's a little muted and subdued. I think it is perfect for fall. This has the best formula out of all the polishes in the collection. I think you can probably get this opaque in 1 coat. I like to do 2, but it's just a really nice, rich shade. I think you guys are gonna like this one. So as far as comparisons go, I compared it to Essie in Stitches. That one's a little bit more berry. I do not have all like the berry Essie shades, so there might be something else that's kind of close to it. There's nothing close to this in Olive and June's line. So I might not have all the comparisons to this because it doesn't seem like quite an original color, but as far as what I had in my collection, it was pretty original just because it leaned a little bit more purple, but it's not as purple as It Takes a West Village. I don't know. I found it quite unique, but there might be something out there that's like this because it's not like a super original shade. But I think it's beautiful. The formula is wonderful, and let's get into the comparisons for this one. This next one is JJ. This one's so good. This is the best out of the collection. This is the one that just caught my eye, you guys. This is so good. Everybody go out and grab it. Everyone. It's gonna look good on so many different skin tones. It's a beautiful brown with like a touch of mauve, so it leans more mauve-y red brown than like orange brown. I do like the orange browns. So Canyon Clay is one of those that's like a brown that leans a little bit more orange, and they're kind of close, but this one definitely has a touch more mauve, and I like this one better, you guys. I think out of all the polishes that I have looked at for this fall season, this is my top favorite. I did not want to take it off. I put it right on immediately, and it's so good, you guys. I love it. So this is definitely the one to get. You're going to get it opaque in 2. I have a high ridge on one of my nails and I had to do 3 on that. Sometimes I do have to do 3 on that one. So that kind of throws me off sometimes. But I think you're going to be pretty good with 2 coats depending on how thick you do them. But it's just the coolest color. Like in some lights it looks brown, and I had the hardest time taking a picture of it because in some lights it looked mauve and in the other lights it looked more brown, and I love polishes like that that always keep me guessing. So it's so good. You guys need to grab this one. And let's get into the comparisons for it. So I'm going to hold all these polishes up so you can see them all together as a whole collection. So fun. A little bit different. I think it's kind of a more mature color palette in my opinion, and I really like it. Let's pick favorites. I really liked this collection. It's quite interesting, a little bit different. I think they're fun colors to add to their line. And let's see. So I'm going to pick JJ, of course, because that is just amazing. Look at it. So pretty. And then I'm going to pick MG because I think this one's a little bit different too. This is the one that's peachy but more brown. And I think it's going to be pretty cool for fall. Look how fun those are. So those are my favorites. I really liked this collection. Comment down below and let me know your thoughts, which ones you're going to pick up, which ones you like, as always. And I like to hear that and know that, kind of see what you guys are gravitating towards. And if you could comment and like and follow and push that notification button, that would be so helpful for me. And I just appreciate you guys, and I will see you later. Bye.